We now have to turn these into binding agreements, and those binding agreements will be between companies. So Secretary Ross is going over to negotiate the framework so that companies can enter into long-term agricultural sales, long-term energy sales, and those become. Now, of course, at the end of the day, this has to be in our interest and in their interest. They do have a growing economy with a lot of demand. They want to diversify away their energy sources at these prices. It's very good for us, and we need to build the infrastructure. So I think, as you know, one of the concerns they had was, are we going to be able to deliver all these additional goods? And we've said we believe the U.S. economy and U.S. companies can. Some of these things can be executed immediately. Some of these things will require long-term contracts to deliver into. But this should be very, very good for U.S. economic growth. You combine this with tax cuts, and I think we're looking at very strong GDP growth for the rest of the year.
When the free traders would grouse about tariffs and why are we doing this, a lot of defenders of the action would say, look, we hit the intellectual property and the theft of intellectual property and the unfair technology give and take between China and the United States needed to be addressed. Tariffs are now gone or on hold, and none of that was actually fixed. So, or was it? Is there reason for hope in all those other areas, Mr. Secretary?
Again, those issues are part of our framework. These things can't be fixed overnight. We've had 3 meetings. We're going to continue to have meetings. And if these things aren't fixed and we don't get what we want, the president can always put tariffs back on.
So that's on hold. It's a sword of Damocles. I was answering. So it's like a sword of Damocles. These are still there. On hold doesn't mean gone. It just means we'll see the behavior.
Exactly. I would use the word they've been suspended. And by the way, this is the same strategy we've used on sanctions in other parts of the world. So the president is the first one who's been determined to be tough on trade and change these deals. And the president is a free trader, but he's also a fair trader, and he wants to make sure their markets are open to us the way our markets are open to them.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.